Well, the thunderous waters of Niagara Falls could soon turn into just a trickle.
Hidden in plain for centuries, some of the most iconic and peculiar finds of our times have now come to light, brought here by environmental shifts, urban exploration, and unexpected circumstances. From ancient relics emerging from receding waters to the subterranean lives of the mole people in bustling cities like Las Vegas, we have some of the most astonishing discoveries that may redefine our understanding of the world around us and its history. Most notably, though, after engineers drained the Niagara Falls, observers made a stomach-churning discovery. We'll get to it shortly. In the meantime, grab yourself some popcorn and enjoy these peculiar finds. Number 20. Long U Caves. In the tranquil countryside of Zhejiang, China, lies a hidden marvel that has captivated the imagination of villagers and scholars for centuries. Deep within this rustic landscape, a group of locals stumbled upon an astonishing discovery. Fueled by age-old legends about a mysterious pond with unfathomable depths, these villagers embarked on a quest to unearth the truth behind the myth. They drained the waters of these enigmatic ponds, revealing not bottomless pits as folklore suggested, but something far more captivating. They unveiled a network of ancient artificial caves, the Long U Caves. Intrigued by this revelation, the villagers delved deeper, meticulously draining a total of 23 ponds scattered throughout the area. Each drained pond unveiled a cave plunging up to 100 feet below the Earth's surface. Yet it was not merely the scale of these subterranean chambers that astonished the villagers. It was the intricate carvings adorning their walls, etched in an indecipherable language that defied all attempts at translation. These enigmatic inscriptions left both locals and experts bewildered. News of this extraordinary discovery spread like wildfire, drawing the attention of historians and archaeologists from far and wide. Eager to unravel the mysteries concealed within the Long U Caves, these scholars embarked on a quest to decipher their secrets. Dating back to 200 BC, these caverns reflect the breathtaking ingenuity of ancient engineering and craftsmanship. The sheer magnitude of these underground structures is staggering, hinting at the monumental manpower required for their construction. Estimates suggest that a legion of 1,000 workers might have labored tirelessly to bring these subterranean marvels to life. Despite the tireless efforts of researchers, the purpose and origin of the Long U Caves remain shrouded in enigma. No tools or evidence of the communities responsible for their creation have been unearthed, leaving behind a tantalizing mystery that continues to perplex and fascinate. Number 19. 200 People Rave. In 2017, the local authorities of Newcastle, United Kingdom, found themselves wading through underground tunnels filled with waist-deep sewage. Here, they discovered not just one or two, but a whopping 200 people gathered in the sewers. Yes, you heard that right. After a thorough investigation, authorities uncovered that the gathering was for a 200-person rave. Yes, a rave party right there in the sewer at around 4 a.m. During interviews, one of the individuals caught by the police claimed that there wasn't any smell underneath. They could party in the tunnel-like drain. However, the authorities weren't pleased with what they found. Apart from potentially disrupting the locals in the area, the people who attended the rave were also endangering themselves. This incident marked the last time authorities discovered people attempting to party in the sewer. Whether they stopped sneaking into the dark tunnels or simply got better at hiding remains a mystery. But one thing is for sure. It was a bizarre and unforgettable event that left everyone questioning what goes on beneath the surface of their city. Number 18, the Spanish Stonehenge. You've probably heard of Stonehenge in England, but did you know that there is a version of it in Spain as well? Yes, in the heart of Spain lies a prehistoric marvel that remained concealed for millennia. The Dolmen of Guadalperal, also known as the Spanish Stonehenge, stands as a magnificent megalithic formation dating back approximately 7,000 years. Comprised of 150 standing stones, some towering to heights of up to 6 feet, this dolmen is arranged in a circular formation, much like its more renowned British counterpart. The Dolmen of Guadalperal predates England's iconic Stonehenge. The builders of this ancient monument undertook extraordinary efforts to transport massive granite stones from miles away. However, the true purpose of the dolmen remains shrouded in mystery. Archaeologists speculate that it could have served as a tomb, a site for religious rituals, or even a trading hub due to its strategic location near the river. Initially excavated in the 1920s by German archaeologist Hugo Oberm, the site's significance was not fully appreciated at the time. In 1963, it was deliberately flooded to accommodate the construction of the Valdecanas Reservoir. For decades, the dolmen remained submerged beneath the reservoir's waters, with only the tallest stones peeking above the waves. It wasn't until a severe drought struck Europe in 2019 that the Spanish Stonehenge emerged once again in its full glory. This resurgence of attention has sparked further exploration and research into unraveling the mysteries of this ancient site, ensuring that the legacy of the Dolmen of Guadalperal endures for generations to come. Number 17. The strange Welsh countryside. In 2012, a series of heat waves swept across the British Isles, transforming lush green landscapes into parched, sun-baked fields. While the dry conditions posed challenges for farmers and residents, they also unveiled something extraordinary for archaeologists. As the vegetation withered and died, the outlines of ancient structures began to emerge. Aerial surveys conducted during this time revealed a treasure trove of over 200 archaeological sites scattered across the Welsh countryside, offering an unparalleled glimpse into the region's Roman past. From the faint traces of long-forgotten forts and farmsteads to the unmistakable outlines of roads and burial sites, the crop marks painted a vivid picture of life in Wales between the years 75 and 400 CE. These discoveries shed new light on the extent of Roman influence in the region, revealing a complex network of military installations, settlements, and infrastructure that had previously been hidden from view. By studying the newly revealed sites, archaeologists were able to piece together a more comprehensive understanding of how the Romans lived, worked, and interacted with the native Welsh population. Number 16. Hunger stones. In the summer of 2022, the shrinking rivers of the Czech Republic unveiled ancient stones adorned with ominous inscriptions. These messages, etched in times of desperation, serve as a somber reminder of the harsh impact that droughts have inflicted throughout history. Known as hunger stones, some of them date back to the 16th century and were carved by the locals as a grim prophecy for future generations. The dire words engraved upon them eloquently convey the suffering endured during periods of prolonged drought. Found in the beds of the Elbe and other Czech rivers, these stones bear witness to countless dry spells. Their surfaces are marked with the years of their creation and the corresponding water levels at the time. Among the most unsettling inscriptions are those that directly address those who discover them. Messages such as, "If you see me, weep," crafted by hands long gone, remind one of the hardships faced by communities when the rains failed and crops withered. These hunger stones tell the story of human resilience in the face of nature's unforgiving forces, urging us to remember the lessons of the past as we navigate an uncertain future. Number 15. Misplaced cow. Mature male cows can weigh anywhere between 1,000 to 4,000 pounds, while females weigh up to 2,400 pounds depending on the species. With all that bulk, cows certainly don't belong inside a manhole. Yet in Fujian province, China, a cow found itself in just that predicament. This bizarre incident involved a cow belonging to a local farmer named Shang Shu. He spent an exhaustive 4 days searching for his missing cow. By the 4th day, hope seemed to be slipping away. But then, a peculiar sound caught the attention of villagers in the area. Following the strange sound, they stumbled upon an open manhole where they could see the poor cow's head. It was a sight beyond belief. Cows, although large, typically aren't known for falling into open manholes. So how did this cow end up in such a peculiar situation? The owner had no clue. Fortunately, the cow was easily freed with an improvised winch and swiftly lifted out of the manhole. After its unexpected adventure, the cow resumed grazing as if nothing had happened. Number 14. Rusty vintage cars dumped in the Hiram Reservoir. Strewn across the muddy shoreline of Utah's Hiram Reservoir State Park, emerging from the receding waters, lie dozens of vintage cars dating back to the 1940s and 1950s. Their rusted frames now stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time. The year 2021 brought with it an unprecedented drought, draining the reservoir to historic lows and unveiling a bizarre underwater graveyard. Among the debris lay 56 intentionally submerged vehicles. The story behind this peculiar discovery harks back to the 1950s, when the man-made lake, constructed in the 1930s, grappled with severe erosion issues along its banks. In a stroke of ingenuity, state engineers decided to fortify the reservoir's edges. Turning to a local car dealer for inspiration, they used old, totaled vehicles as riprap. Over 50 cars were acquired and strategically submerged into the waters of Hiram Reservoir. From 1940s sedans to 1950s Jeeps and trucks, these rusty relics offer a glimpse into a bygone era. Despite the passage of decades, The deteriorating interiors and scattered parts of these submerged vehicles only add to the haunting atmosphere surrounding this underwater graveyard. As they lay silently beneath the surface, these vintage cars remind us of human ingenuity and the enduring interplay between nature and innovation. Number 13, the drowned village. In the early 20th century, the village of Couronne stood on the shores of Lake Regia in northern Italy. Its inhabitants lived a simple life in harmony with the stunning natural surroundings. However, their world was turned upside down in 1950 when the Italian government approved plans to build a hydroelectric dam. As the waters of Lake Regia began to rise, the villagers were forced to abandon their homes and watch as their village disappeared beneath the waves. Today, the only visible remnant of Couronne is the 14th century bell tower. Its lonely spire rises above the surface of the lake, reminding us of the life that once thrived there. In 2021, a rare event brought Couronne back into the public eye. A combination of maintenance work and drought caused the water levels of Lake Regia to drop significantly, revealing the ruins of the long-lost village. For a brief moment, visitors could walk among the crumbling walls and foundations, catching a glimpse of the lives that were uprooted in the wake of progress. The drowned village of Couronne serves as a haunting reminder of the human cost of development and the importance of preserving our cultural heritage for future generations. Number 12, when engineers drained the Niagara Falls. When a group of engineers drained the Niagara Falls, observers made a stomach-churning discovery. They unveiled a cache of coins, but these were no ordinary coins. Tasked with the formidable challenge of damming the Niagara River to halt the flow of the American Falls, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers embarked on a monumental endeavor. They had to clear the accumulated talus and assess the stability of the rock face. All the while, there were concerns about erosion. As the waters receded, a glittering hoard emerged from the drained basin. These were millions of coins tossed into the falls over generations. For visitors to Niagara Falls, tossing coins into the water had long been a cherished tradition, believed to bring good luck and ensure a return to this iconic destination. The sheer magnitude of the discovery was staggering. Experts estimated that nearly 1 million coins had gathered beneath the thundering waters. Among the treasures found were coins from around the world, some dating back to the 19th century. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and even the rarer half-dollars shimmered amidst the rocks, each coin carrying with it a piece of history. The meticulous collection and documentation of these coins offered a unique snapshot of the countless visitors who had been captivated by the majesty of Niagara Falls over time. Each coin, once cast into the swirling depths, now reflected the enduring allure of this natural wonder and the indelible mark it leaves on all who behold its splendor. Number 11, 400-year-old church. Imagine stumbling upon a church emerging from the surface of a reservoir, its spires reaching toward the sky. This surreal scene is not fictional. This is exactly what happened during a drought in Mexico in 2023. The state of Chiapas was particularly hard hit by an intense heat wave, causing water levels in many bodies of water to drop dangerously low. Among the most remarkable discoveries was the unveiling of an entire church structure submerged beneath the waters of the Nezahualcóyotl Reservoir. This church, constructed in the middle of the 16th century by Dominican friars led by Friar Baloam de Jesus, was dedicated to the Apostle James the Greater. Originally, it served as a place of worship for the people of the now vanished town of San Juan Bautista. For decades, only the upper part of the church was visible, just beneath the water's surface and accessible only by boat. However, as the drought significantly lowered the reservoir's water levels, the entire structure emerged, revealing the full extent of the church's architecture. The church started to drown in 1966 with the construction of the Nezahualcóyotl hydroelectric dam, also known as the Malpaso Dam. The church, among other sites, was intentionally flooded to make way for the dam's reservoir. Now temporarily accessible by foot, this church reminds us of the town's submerged past. Number 10. Ancient Buddha statues unveiled. In the heart of China, the mighty Yangtze River has long been a cradle of life, culture, and mystery. However, as the nation grappled with its most severe drought in over half a century, the receding waters of the Yangtze unveiled 3 ancient Buddha statues, believed to be over 600 years old, standing tall amidst the exposed riverbed. These remarkable stone carvings depict a serene monk seated on a lotus pedestal, flanked by 2 celestial attendants. They evoke the teachings and spiritual essence that have permeated the land for centuries. Historians speculate that these statues date back to the Ming or Qing dynasties, eras when the teachings of the Buddha flourished along the banks of the Yangtze. Carried from India by devoted pilgrims and scholars, Buddhism found fertile ground in China. leaving an indelible mark on its culture and spirituality. For generations, these sacred relics remained hidden beneath the Yangtze's flowing waters, known only to the local communities who passed down the tales of their creation with reverence and awe. However, as the river's levels plummeted due to the drought, the statues emerged once more, drawing curious onlookers and devout worshippers alike. As visitors flock to witness these ancient Buddha statues, they stand not only as artifacts of history, but also as beacons of hope and spiritual reflection in uncertain times. Number 9. The Ghost Fleet. In the summer of 2022, a startling sight emerged from the depths of the Danube River near Prahovo, Serbia. As a severe drought caused water levels to plummet, the rusting hulks of over 20 Nazi warships, scuttled during the chaotic final days of the Second World War, rose from their watery graves. The eerie appearance of these long-forgotten vessels, still laden with unexploded ordnance, sent shivers down the spines of onlookers. These ships were part of Nazi Germany's Black Sea Fleet and had been sent to the bottom of the Danube in 1944 as Soviet forces closed in. For nearly 8 decades, the vessels lay hidden beneath the river's murky waters, their existence known only to a few. But as the drought took hold, the water receded, exposing the corroded remains of this ghost fleet. But that's not all. The emergence of the warships posed a significant challenge for Serbian authorities. The vessel's cargo of unexploded bombs and ammunition presented a serious danger to navigation and nearby communities. Efforts to safely remove the hazardous materials and secure the wrecks were complicated by the river's fluctuating water levels and the deteriorating condition of the ships. The Serbian authorities initiated a meticulous and delicate operation to ensure the safety of navigation and nearby communities. Specialized teams of divers and bomb disposal experts were brought in to assess the condition of the ships and the stability of the unexploded ordnance. Working under precarious conditions, they carefully mapped out the locations of the bombs and ammunition, prioritizing the most dangerous areas for immediate action. They used remote-controlled underwater vehicles to help with the inspection and removal of the ordnance, minimizing the risk to human life. Where feasible, the bombs were safely defused and removed from the wrecks. However, some areas posed too great a risk for removal, necessitating controlled detonations in situ, conducted with extreme caution to avoid causing further damage or unintended detonations. The fluctuating water levels of the Danube also required constant monitoring to adjust the operation's logistics. Temporary barriers and dams were constructed to stabilize the work environment and ensure the safety of the teams involved. The operation was a race against time and nature, with authorities striving to secure the area quickly. Despite the challenges, the concerted efforts of the Serbian authorities and their partners were crucial in mitigating the immediate threats posed by the Ghost Fleet, ultimately transforming a startling discovery into a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Number 8. Ichthyosaur from England. In the tranquil depths of Rutland Water Nature Reserve in England, a remarkable discovery transported visitors back to the age of the dinosaurs. In 2021, during routine draining for landscaping purposes, conservation team leader Joe Davis stumbled upon the fossilized remains of a colossal ichthyosaur. These marine reptiles once ruled the seas nearly 180 million years ago, much like cousins, the dinosaurs who roamed the lands. Measuring an impressive 32 feet in length, the fossil is the largest of its kind ever found in the United Kingdom and is believed to be the first specimen of its species discovered in the region. The ichthyosaur, whose name literally but not so accurately translates to fish lizard, was a fearsome predator with a streamlined body and powerful jaws. It was an apex predator in the ancient oceans. Excavating the fossil was a monumental task. The team had to remove a 1-ton block of clay containing the creature's 6-foot-long skull, but they did it. This discovery not only sheds light on the prehistoric inhabitants of England's waters, but also offers invaluable insights into the biodiversity and evolutionary history of our planet. Number 7. Fatberg. Fatberg may seem like some sort of a mythical creature, but it's actually a whole different thing. It is fat, yes, but not the kind that would amaze and impress. Instead, it is a monstrous sewer blockage formed from a nasty mix of congealed fat, wet wipes, and other unsuitable items flushed down toilets. Picture a nightmare in sewage form. Now imagine the shock of workers when they stumbled upon the colossal Fatberg, responsible for clogging the sewage system of Sidmouth, a seaside town in Devon, United Kingdom, back in 2018. This was the largest fatberg ever found in the UK. It was so massive and repulsive that it took a whopping 8 weeks for workers to remove it from the sewers. Just think about that next time you're tempted to flush something that shouldn't go down the toilet. Dealing with a giant stinky blockage like this is nobody's idea of fun, and if that's not enough to make you think twice, consider the time, effort, and unpleasantness involved in clearing such a mess. Number 6. A bridge to China's past. In Jiangxi province of China, the waters of Poyang Lake have long concealed a treasure from China's imperial past. As the nation grappled with a severe drought in 2020, the receding waters revealed the ancient stone arches of the Chuan Bridge. This majestic structure once spanned the breadth of the lake during the Ming Dynasty. Built in the year 1631 during the reign of the last Ming emperor, the Chuan Bridge was a marvel of engineering and craftsmanship, stretching over 2,500 feet across the tranquil waters of Poyang Lake. Comprised of graceful granite arches and adorned with intricate carvings, the bridge showcased the skill of its creators and linked cities and fishing villages. However, the onset of the 20th century brought about a new era of modernization and change. In the 1950s, as the newly formed communist government sought to reshape the nation's infrastructure, the decision was made to flood the area surrounding the bridge, submerging it beneath the rising waters of Poyang Lake. For decades, the Chuan Bridge lay hidden from view, known only to local fishermen who passed over its watery grave. But as the drought of 2020 took hold, the waters of the lake began to recede and the bridge emerged once more. Visitors flocked to the site, marveling at the ancient structure's resilience and beauty and reflecting on China's rich history. Number 5. Mole people. If you're from Las Vegas, you've probably heard of the mole people. They are not some strange creatures from urban folklore. They're pretty much regular, except that they live like moles in the sprawling underbelly of Las Vegas. Beneath all the glitter and pleasure on the surface, they are stuck in the most difficult and hopeless circumstances. These mole people usually occupy Las Vegas's network of tunnels and forgotten utility passageways. While it might sound like a modern-day myth, the reality is both more mundane and more complex. The mole people are often individuals who, for various reasons, have found themselves living in these underground spaces. This includes people experiencing homelessness, runaways, and even those seeking a life away from society's gaze. Life underground offers a form of shelter from the elements, a degree of privacy, and in some ways, safety from the challenges faced on the streets. However, life in the shadows is far from easy. These environments are often dangerous, lacking in basic amenities, and in most cases illegal to inhabit. The stories of the mole people first gained widespread attention in the 1990s, thanks to journalist Jennifer Toth's book, The Mole People: Life in the Tunnels Beneath New York City. Unfortunately, almost 2 decades after Toth's scoop, the mole people continue to inhabit different parts of the world to this day, still hiding and living in the dark. Number 4. The Lost City of Zakiku. In the heart of Iraq's Kurdistan region, a team of archaeologists made a stunning discovery in 2022. As a severe drought drained the waters of the Mosul Dam Reservoir, the ruins of a 3,400-year-old city emerged from the receding shoreline. Once a thriving center of the mighty Mitanni Empire that ruled the region in the Bronze Age, the ancient city known as Zakiku offers a fascinating glimpse into the power and ingenuity of the Mitanni people. Controlling vast swaths of the Middle East from 1500 to 1360 BCE, the Mitanni Empire left behind remarkable legacies. And as the waters retreated, Zakiku's remarkably well-preserved remains were exposed. Among the ruins were massive fortifications, sprawling palace complexes, and intricately decorated temples. One of the most remarkable finds was the discovery of more than 100 cuneiform tablets and clay documents that miraculously survived the ravages of time and water. These precious artifacts, some dating back to the city's heyday, promised to shed new light on the Mitanni Empire's history, culture, and daily life. Written in the Akkadian language, the cuneiform tablets have so far provided detailed records of trade transactions, agricultural inventories, and correspondence between officials. These documents illustrate the complex bureaucracy that governed the city and highlight the extensive trade networks that connected Zakiku with the rest of the ancient Near East. The tablets have also shed light on the religious practices and rituals of the Mitanni people. Several documents include hymns, prayers, and offerings dedicated to the gods, revealing the spiritual life that was integral to the city's culture. The presence of legal texts among the tablets indicates a well-established legal system, with contracts, agreements, and decrees that regulated various aspects of daily life and societal interactions. Number 3. Dinosaur tracks. In 2022, park rangers made a fascinating discovery at a Texas state park, all thanks to a 2-year drought that struck the area. With rising temperatures and significantly less rainfall, the river flowing through the park receded, with some parts drying up completely. This revealed magnificent dinosaur tracks that experts believe to be over 113 million years old. Most of the tracks discovered in the area likely belong to a species known as the Acrocanthosaurus. This massive creature roamed through the forests of what is now North America, standing about 15 feet tall at the hips and measuring up to 38 feet in length, which makes it longer than a school bus. It weighed as much as 3 small cars combined, around 6 to 7 tons. It was truly a force to be reckoned with. However, its size wasn't the only impressive thing about it. Running along its back were tall neural spines, which supported a ridge of muscle. This might have helped support its massive body and powerful tail. Others speculated could have been used for display or even to regulate body temperature. Either way, this behemoth would have dominated North America had it adapted and survived to this day. Number 2. A Roman outpost, but not in Rome. In the rugged wilderness of northwestern Spain, the waters of the Lima River basin conceal a fascinating glimpse into the region's ancient past. As a severe drought gripped the area in 2022, the receding waters revealed the extensive ruins of a Roman military camp. The camp, known as Aquis Querquennis, dates back to 75 CE, a time when Rome was expanding its control over the Iberian Peninsula. Built to house a garrison of 600 soldiers, the sprawling complex featured an array of buildings, including barracks, a hospital, granaries, and even a temple and bathhouse. The strategic location of the camp allowed the Romans to secure the region and protect their vital supply lines. Archaeologists carefully mapped out the layout of the camp and studied the intricate details of its construction. The well-preserved remains, including intact floors and foundations, provided a rare insight into the daily lives of the soldiers stationed at the edge of the Roman Empire. Number 1. Half a mini-car. In 2014, European sewer workers stumbled upon some bizarre and unexpected items in the sewage systems. One particularly memorable find was half a mini-car discovered in a London sewer. It was just one of many unusual objects causing blockages in the city's sewage system. But the surprises didn't stop there. Elsewhere in the United Kingdom, workers also found a prosthetic leg, lifeless farm animals, and even a Honda motorbike amidst heaps of trash in the sewage. The Consumer Council for Water revealed that there were a staggering 52,000 sewer blockages in the capital that year, marking one of the highest numbers compared to other years. These unusual discoveries remind us of the strange and unexpected challenges faced by those responsible for maintaining urban infrastructure. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.